Hello, my beautiful fragrance family. Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and be a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. And I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews. That $40-ish and under dollar range, most of these, way less than that. And a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores. Just like this one right here. Another Hollister fragrance. Find it for $20 all day long. Talking about Hollister Festival Night. I think I found this one at Ross, if I'm not mistaken, a while back. I've had this one for a little bit, and the atomizer cap, I thought it would pull, but it doesn't, and I actually ripped the thing off, but it still works. It's a twist. If you can see that, it twists. So a little gimmick there, and the squirter itself is kind of weak, but it's all right. This is like rubber on the bottom. Feels pretty decent in the hand, like a little grenade or something like that. And there's another festival vibes. I don't have that one, but let's talk about Festival Night. So when you first squirt this thing, you probably will immediately be reminded of Paco Rabanne's 1 million. If you looked up the reviews on this thing and you've seen what people compare it to, you will indeed see that they compare it to that. They compare it to Halloween Man and Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, the original. And I can kind of get that a little bit because of the powdery nature in this thing. This is citrus, spicy. There's a decent dose of ambroxan in this. A decent dose of ambroxan. Creamy sandalwood. There's tonka bean. There's some musk. And what the main thing, and this is you're going to get in the opening, is a good dose of crisp citrus and spices and sweetness. Like an amber citrus spice is what you're going to initially get in the opening. When it starts to dry down a little bit, it becomes a little more sandalwoody, like that milky sandalwood and the powdery sweet vanilla leaning part of tonka bean. That's what you're going to get in this. With all the sweetness, this leans a little bit more towards the cooler days of summer, in my opinion. At least here in Florida, because it's really hot in the summer. It's very humid. It's very sticky. So a lot of people are saying this is a summertime fragrance, and I could see in a lot of places this would be, but I think this could be a bit polarizing when it's really stinking hot. Now in the evening, when it's not quite as humid, when the sun isn't just blistering down on you, I think this would work good. I think it'll work decent in the spring. I think it'll work really good in the fall. This is like a fresher take on Paco Rabanne's 1 million, but me personally, like today, going out, I'm not gonna wear something like this in the daytime to the gym, doing what I'm going to do today, out working in the sun. I'm not going to wear that. It's going to be too much. It's not going to be fresh enough. But in most places, I think that you could get away with it because it is a little bit brighter with the citrus and stuff like that. It doesn't have so much of the cinnamon like Paco Rabanne 1 million does. And it's not quite as loud or heavy, but as far as the performance, it's not that bad. It's a 5 to 6 hour fragrance, so it leans on the stronger side of average. The projection is, your typical arm's length away for about an hour and a half or so, and then you're left with your, closer scent bubble for a few hours, so you keep smelling yourself, and overall you'll smell yourself for the next 5 or 6 hours, which is decent for a $20 fragrance. There is a little bit of a synthetic thing in here. I don't know if it's the ambroxan, but there's something that almost has like an oily smell to it, which might be part of the reason why I think it could be a little bit polarizing in the high heat, is because that oiliness along with the sweetness. But there's something kind of oily in here that kind of doesn't vibe real well with me, but it doesn't make me dislike this fragrance, because overall I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I like the way this thing smells. It performs decent. It smells really good, so I'll still give it a 6 out of 10. It's just not that natural smelling, but it is a very, very pleasing scent profile nonetheless. It's more youthful than it is mature, 100% more mature. Like, not saying that somebody that's mature, somebody that's even a senior or something couldn't enjoy this fragrance, because let's face it, a lot of times youthful fragrances are extremely inoffensive. It's just not something that you'd be caught wearing a suit and a tie in. When I talk about mature fragrances, it's something that's dressed up. You're a boss, you're in charge, you're confident. This is like you're chilling, you're casual, you just want to smell good. that's what a youthful fragrance is. It's just inoffensive, kind of sweet, playful, easy to smell good, something their girlfriends or whatever want to smell. Nice smelling. And I got the dry down on my hand. And it gets a little more powdery in the dry down. A little bit more powdery, softer. The bright citruses go away. And that kind of offensive oily thing starts to go away a little bit. So it's not as dominant in the dry down. But overall, it's a good smelling fragrance. So if you're looking for something that might work in the summer where you're at that leans on that Paco Rabanne 1 million side, it's 80% similar to Paco Rabanne 1 million, then you might want to check out Hollister Festival Night, because that's what this is. I've reviewed this thing before, but I'm trying to recap on some of my older videos because I'll see people comment on that. I'm like, thank you for putting up with that. And you got to start somewhere, right? The quality on those isn't as good, and I'm sure I'm going to watch this a few years down the road and be like, all right, I need to redo or whatever because I'm probably going to have a better studio. But that's my thoughts on why can't I say the name of this thing? Hollister Festival Night. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.